Hello, I am Nyimbo Michael, TED 4868/21. So I'm here to give a brief report on our trip to Mombasa, which took place on the 17th March to 23rd of March this year 2024. So our trip to Mombasa, we departed from Moi on that morning on Sunday at around past midnight, some few minutes past midnight, and we took our journey to Mombasa. We reached at Mombasa at around 6 p.m. in the evening, then rested waiting for the first day of our trip in Mombasa. So in Mombasa, we were to visit 6 companies. So the first one was vehicle assembly, known as AVA company, which assembled vehicles. Or also to visit sheet making company, which is Corrugated Sheet Limited, which is under Nyumba group of companies. Or also to visit the steel plate and hollow section at Brolo, and also we were to visit cement production at Mombasa Cement. Also we were to witness some motor transport at African Marine, and also power generation at Kengen Kipevu Power Station. So Associated Vehicle Assemblers, which is AVA, is allocated in Meritin. So on our first day we visited the company. We were welcomed by the operation managers. So we were given a brief history of the company, when it was formed, when it was established, and when it started its activities at around 1977. So their main work is to assemble vehicles. So they assemble different brands of vehicles, including Toyota Hiace, Toyota Land Cruisers. They also assemble Tuk-Tuk, Tata, Hino, and they also had a pilot project which was assembling now a bus. So this was a Scania bus which was being assembled, which was for their pilot project, the first project they were doing in assembling the buses. So at AVA they told us they don't manufacture any car or make any car, but rather they just assemble basing on the customers that they've found. They receive orders, they pick up the shipments which are shipped from abroad from different companies, and assemble it according to the customer's preference and need. So after receiving the shipment, they check if all the parts are there, then they start the assembly process. Assembly process, basically they unpack the load and then put the parts together, including the engine, the chassis, the body, and all the workings. So after they have assembled the whole car, they also carry out some tests, which is just to affirm that the work that they have done is complete and well according to the standard that is required. So some of the tests, they involved braking test, where they check if the braking system of the cars or the automobiles that they have assembled is working and okay. They also carry out some spray test, which involves to check if the cars have any leakage or whether the paints are not intact. They also carry out alignments, which involves the wheel alignments using computerized sensors and programs. So this was an opportunity for us to explore on how different programs are used to check standards and assure the quality of cars. So after they've done all the tests, they now go to test driving, maybe, where they take the car out, test its performance on the road, and record its output, or how now the car is and its condition. So after that, now the car is ready to be taken by the owner after the payment and the procedure of sale is done. So after the long visit at AVA, so we went back to Mtwapa, where was our area of stay, waiting for the second day of our trip. So on our second day, we visited 2 companies. So the first one was Corrugated Sheets Limited, which is under the Nyumba group of companies. So this company we were told that it was founded at around 1972, and the company mainly is involved in sheet making. So their main activity is galvanization of the material. They also have the hollow section where they conduct pressing of the material. They also make patterns of those iron sheets, and also they do pre-painting of the steels. So at this section, the first place that we visited was the section where the gauge of the material received from one of their companies which manufactures these iron sheets. These sheets come in large bulk or which have a larger diameter. So the first step, they reduce it by pressing. After pressing, now it is taken out to the company where the sheet process starts. So the first step, they also further press it to a required gauge according to the customer preference or the manufacturing quality that they need at the moment. So after it is further pressed to a thinner and a required gauge, it is then galvanized. After being galvanized, it moves down to the pattern making, where different patterns according to the demands are made on the iron sheet. So in this company, what I noticed mostly, they use some computerized programs, like for example, galvanization. They check the thickness of the galvanized material to check if the quality is okay according to the quality that they are producing. So that is one of the area that I noticed. Also in pattern making, it is computerized such that the lengths are measured using computer programs, and also they have manual workers which do the work like counting and packaging of the product after they are fully and finished to be made. So also the company has a water treatment plant where they clean the water that they use and reuse it in the company. This is in terms of where they are pressing the material. They use some acid, so some water is required, maybe for dilution, for cooling of the machines. So the water that they use, they recycle it using a plant which they have within the company. Also, we are told they have other branches where they manufacture nails, and also the waste of the iron sheets are taken to the other company where they are again melted. They come back as sheets, large diameter sheets, to be reused back to the company. So this marks the end of our visit at corrugated sheets, and now we move to Brolo company. So Brolo Kenya Limited is a company which was established in the early 1980s, and this company majorly it is involved in some steel works. So they have some hollow section where they make square and rectangular tubes. They also have hot rolling steels where they bend these steels. They have cold rolling processes where they also carry out some cold working on the steel material. So they have different products, like they have the square tubes, the rectangular tubes, and also have they bend pipes. So these processes, like for bending of pipes, is an hot working process where they bend it and mill the joints so that they can make pipes. So they make pipe of different diameters. So during our visit at Brolo, we were walked through the company by the MD, shown some processes. Then we moved for a brief so that he could explain. Due to the noise and the safety precaution, we could not say so much into the company. So we went for a brief where we asked questions. They explained to us some of their working principles and how all the processes are carried out at Brolo. He started by giving us the history, how the company started, its downfall at a time, and then how it picked up again, and how it is the biggest and the second largest producer of steelworks in Kenya. So after a lengthy engagement at Brolo, we went back to Mtwapa, rested waiting for day 3. So on our day 3, we visited 2 companies also, which was Mombasa Cement Limited, which was our first company. So at Mombasa Cement Limited, so this company was established at around 2007. So Mombasa Cement, their main activities, the first one, they collect raw materials like primary limestone, which is abundant in the Kilifi County because Mombasa Cement is found in Bingo, which is in Kilifi County. So their first raw material is limestone, so which is abundant in the shores of the ocean. So they obtain it, crush it, and mix it with other materials such as iron ore, clay, and gypsum. They also do clinker production, which they do it using a kiln where it is heated to higher temperatures, and then it is used in production of cement. They also do grinding and blending of these materials. So the clinker and the limestone, it's mixed in appropriate proportion, grinded further in their grinders, and then blended to required qualities. Then after being blended, now they do the packaging and distribution of this cement. So they have different grinders which perform these tasks, both for the clinker and the limestone, which are the main raw materials in the company. So they have grinders, and they have also mixers which perform the work of mixing these different materials to come up with the quality of cement that they need. After it is grinded and blended, they do the packaging and distribution of cement across the country according to the market demand and the requirement of the customers. So after our visit at Mombasa Cement, we went to African Marine. So African Marine is located in Likoni, that is in Mombasa. So the company started its operation at around 1937, where its main activities and operations are involved at Kilindini Harbour, where they transport vessels, marine vessels, people, products, based on the demand. So here we witnessed a repair of one of the vessels, one of the ships, where they use a dock, a temporary dock where they move the ship with water to the dock, drain the water, then the ship is left hanging in the dock, and now they start the repair operations and the normal maintenance operation. So they had different mechanical processes like drilling, grinding, and all the lathe operations within the company. So at this place we witnessed how the ship is cleaned either from rust, and how its parts are repaired and made in their workshop. So we left African Marine, and that was done with our day 3. So our day 4, we went to Kengen Kipevu company. So at Kengen Kipevu, so this is a power generation plant which was commissioned at around 1980s there. So they had Kipevu 1, Kipevu 2, and Kipevu 3, which were commissioned at different times. So here they generate power using thermal energy, where they burn heavy fuel oils which are stored in tanks. So they burn this fuel to generate energy. So due to safety precautions and security measures, we are not able to go into the plant where the generators are found, but rather we were directly through where the tanks are, shown all the tanks, explained to us. Then we went to the control room where we were shown all the operation. We saw how the generators work and how the fuel tanks are managed and operated. So after that, we concluded now our visit at Kipevu, and now that marked the end of our company visits in Mombasa. So our last day we visited the Pirates Beach, where we were to refresh before we could start our journey back to Moi. So thank you very much, and God bless you.